You know, I mentioned in my last DC video that Warner Brothers and DC have been taking L's like crazy. And I thought that would have been it for the news until Aquaman comes out. But here we are with Blue Beetle. And all I can say is DC is taking a Mortal Kombat style whooping with their projects. Nice Strike here, and welcome to my 374 subscribers. I hope you're having an awesome day. And if you're not part of that 374, I hope you're having a great day too. Saying DC has been struggling when it comes to their films could be the biggest understatement of the year. However, there's more news that have come out about DC's latest film, Blue Beetle. Turns out this movie is the lowest grossing DCEU movie ever. Now, Blue Beetle, based on what James Gunn said, is going to be a part of the new stuff moving forward, and man, is that a lackluster start. Let's take a look at some stuff here. Blue Beetle ends theatrical run with a disappointing DCEU record. Despite being a critical hit, Blue Beetle earns a disheartening DCEU record following its modest box office run worldwide. Blue Beetle earns a stinging record as the superhero films attract an unfortunate DC Extended Universe milestone upon the end of its theatrical run. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that wasn't a milestone they ever wanted to hit. Another article here by Collider reads, Blue Beetle global box office run ends as lowest grossing DCEU movie ever. They got some bullet points here. Blue Beetle had a lackluster start at the box office, but enjoyed favorable critical reception. The film had a worldwide gross of $128.6 million, with $71 million coming from the United States and Canada. Okay, let's look at this money coming in. Blue Beetle's budget was like $120 million, very high for a mostly unknown character, and that doesn't include marketing, by the way. So let's say with marketing is like $70 million. That might be high, but we're just gonna roll 70. Blue Beetle spent $190 million in total and only made $128 million. That barely covers the budget cost, and realistically it doesn't even cover that because they don't get all of that money. At best they might get half, but it's probably less. The movie's underperformance can be attributed to external factors and the adaptation of a lesser known DC comic book characters. Yep, that's exactly what I said right there. But also external factors, okay, so I'm betting these there's no way to put it. I'm just gonna say okay, so these idiots are still blaming part of the Blue Beetle failure to not make enough money because of that tropical storm that happened in California. There was a whole article like, oh, you know, people aren't going to see it because there's a storm happening. Well, I mean, that was over the weekend. I'm sure people didn't see it, but if they were going to, couldn't they have just went the next day or week or month? They could have, but they didn't. Moving on here, Blue Beetle, one of the concluding movies of the DCEU, kicked off with a lackluster start at the box office, earning a $25 million in its opening weekend. However, due to favorable critical reception it received, there was that Jaime Reyes adventure could somehow manage to renew audience interest in the franchise. Unfortunately, due to many factors, the odds were greatly stacked against its favor, and as its theatrical run concludes, Blue Beetle has only managed to crawl to an underwhelming summit, exiting theaters as the lowest grossing DCEU film of all time. Yeah, you bet the odds were against this movie. Let's do a quick breakdown here, okay? 1. This movie's budget was stupid high for a new character that most people don't even know. I know a little bit about Jaime Reyes, right? But not a ton. But I do like Blue Beetle. I think there are some comics out there that are pretty good. And the way Young Justice actually depicted Blue Beetle, I thought was very good. But people have no idea, for the most part, who this guy is. 2. DC has been on such a massive losing streak, they could have literally called in a nuke, and they did. A financial one. People's enthusiasm for superheroes have been going down due to the fact that there has been trash after trash being produced, regardless if it's Marvel or DC. The same way a tide raises all ships, it can also lower them. And 3. Now, you might be able to say this one is a minor reason, but it's never a good idea to insult your audience. You know, the customer, the people you want to go see your movie. And unfortunately, you have many directors and some actors nowadays who are just retarded and want to either insult the character of the project they're making or insult the fans that they want to go watch their movies.
Not a great plan.
When the director of Blue Beetle angers people by putting in that line about Batman being a fascist in the trailer, you know what he said? He put a Skeletor meme or whatever saying, my work here is done. And you know what? Probably would have been best for him to keep his mouth shut, but congratulations. Your movie is now the lowest grossing DCU film ever. A complete failure. Anyways, what do you all think of this whole thing? I'd like to hear what you have to say. If you like the video, like the video. And if you like this kind of content and want to see more, why not consider subscribing? Thank you all again for watching, and until we meet again.